Okay, so now we're going to get to the really interesting, really fun, really useful parts of Bootstrap. And so what we're going to look at in this video and in the next video is the Bootstrap grid system. And the grid system is how we're going to start making columns and also how we're going to make our columns responsive so we can set our column width differently for different device widths. So in this video, we're just going to look at the basics, and there are three basic rules for using the Bootstrap grid system. The first is everything goes inside a div with class container. So as soon as I open my body, I open my div with class container, and my div class container closes way down here right before this JavaScript stuff that we don't touch and my close body tag. So everything that I see on my page goes inside div class container. And if we come over and look at our page right now, you can see that what div class container does is set a width for my content column like we've done earlier previously using regular CSS, and it centers that content like we want it to. All right, rule 1, everything goes in a div with class container. Rule 2, everything goes inside divs with class row, okay? And what a row is it's kind of my horizontal sections of my website, right? So I've got this top section, and it's got one column layout. And then I've got this next section, and it has a different layout, okay? It's 3 across. So it's going to be its own row. This is going to be its own row. If this was like an image grid with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that could all stay in its own row because I don't change my column layout. So you'll get the hang of this, but just kind of think of these horizontal sections of your site, and those go inside divs with class row. All right. Rule 1, everything goes inside a div with class container. Rule 2, everything inside your container goes in divs with class row. Rule 3, inside your divs with class row, everything goes inside divs that have column classes. And we're going to look at the most basic way of doing that in this video. In the next video, we'll get into more advanced ways. And really the way that you will always want to do it is in the next video. So here we're just laying out the basic concepts. So divs with column classes, right now we're just using class COL, column. What that does is it creates columns and it splits them in the row. Okay, so this row has one column, that column takes up the entire amount of space. This row has 3 columns, and when we're just using class COL, those are split across. Like I said, you're not going to want to use this COL, you're going to want to use a little bit of a different configuration, but that's what we're going to learn about in the next video. One thing that you should know before we get going is you can have class equals container here. You can also have class equals container fluid. And what that does is it just makes it so that your container is always the full width of the website. So it just depends on what you want. A lot of the times I think container is the right decision, but if you really want that full width, taking up the whole screen look, you can use container fluid. Okay, so get set up, practice with your containers, your rows, and come back next video and we will get into column sizing.